Have you ever tried to go home, only to find that home doesn't exist anymore? That it's waiting for you, twisted and broken, hungry? In the world of Reanimal, two souls are about to learn this lesson in the most brutal way imaginable. A brother and a sister, orphaned and bound by a shared unspoken trauma, are drawn back to the island where they lost everything. They aren't returning for closure. They're on a desperate search for their friends who have vanished into the suffocating fog that now permanently chokes their former home. But this island, it remembers. The ground beneath their feet is not just rock and soil, it's a graveyard of memories. The familiar woods have become a labyrinth of decay. The old houses stand like hollowed-out skulls, and a pervasive wrongness infects every shadow. This isn't just an abandoned place. It's a wound, and it has been festering. Our story centers on two souls who have already survived the unimaginable, a brother and a sister, orphaned by a tragedy that we can only begin to guess at. They are returning to the island that was once their entire world, but they haven't come back for closure or to dig up old ghosts. Their purpose is far more immediate and far more desperate. Their friends, other children who perhaps shared this isolated life with them, have gone missing, vanished, and the siblings, bound by a loyalty that only survivors can truly understand, have come to find them. The island they return to is a phantom, a grotesque mockery of the home they once knew. The welcome they receive is not one of warm nostalgia, but of a creeping, oppressive dread. The fog here is a character in itself. It's a physical barrier, clinging to everything, swallowing landmarks, and twisting familiar shapes into monstrous silhouettes against the perpetual twilight. It muffles sound, creating a world of chilling silence punctuated by noises that should not exist. It feels intentional, like a shroud purposefully laid over a corpse to hide the gruesome details of its demise. Let's talk about the island itself. Before the rot, one can imagine it was a place of stark, isolated beauty, a small, self-contained world for a community that wanted to be left alone. Perhaps there were rolling hills for sheep to graze, dense forests for children to get lost in, a small fishing village clustered around the docks, a place of simple, quiet life. But that life is over. The sickness that has taken hold is absolute. The structures are decaying, not with the gentle passage of time, but with a violent, unnatural speed. Wood splinters and warps, stone crumbles as if stricken with a disease. The once green hills are now splotched with ugly, barren patches, and the forests have become claustrophobic tangles of dead, grasping branches. This isn't just neglect, this is an active, malevolent transformation. The island is actively rewriting itself into a nightmare, and at its heart is a secret, an event so terrible it has poisoned the very earth. In this hostile world, the siblings have nothing. No weapons, no map, no comforting voice on a radio offering guidance. There is no user interface, no health bar to reassure you. There is only the bond they share. And this is perhaps the most crucial piece of the lore. Their survival is entirely dependent on their cooperation, on their silent, shared understanding. Think about what it means to be these children. They are survivors of the original unspoken tragedy that orphaned them. They carry a weight that we can't see, a trauma that likely defines their every interaction. Perhaps they don't speak much. Maybe after what they've seen, words feel hollow, useless. Their bond is forged in the crucible of shared loss. We see it in their gameplay, the way they must work in tandem to move an object, the way one must act as a lookout for the other, the way a simple glance between them can convey more fear, warning, or reassurance than a full page of dialogue. Their journey is a constant, terrifying dance of trust. They are each other's only anchor in a world that is actively trying to pull them down, to isolate them, to make them feel utterly and hopelessly alone. Tarsier Studios isn't just giving us a co-op mechanic, they are telling us a story through it. They are showing us that the only light in this oppressive darkness is the one you create between two people who refuse to let each other go. But even that light is fragile, and the island's horrors seem hell-bent on extinguishing it. And then there are the inhabitants. The things that now call this poisoned paradise home. These are not just monsters. To call them that would be too simple. They are echoes, perversions. They are what happens when nature is filtered through a lens of pure trauma. Consider the sheep, an animal we associate with innocence, with pastoral calm. Here, they are grotesquely mutated, their bodies warped with too many limbs, their movements a horrifying, skittering gait that is anything but natural. They are no longer prey, they are predators, lunging from the fog with a terrifying speed. They represent a corruption of innocence, the island's way of screaming that nothing pure can survive here anymore. Then there are the pigs, hulking, brutish, and unnervingly intelligent. Once a source of sustenance for the island community, they are now relentless hunters. Their size and aggression speak to a corruption of the natural order, of the very things that once sustained life, now seeking only to end it. They are a symbol of a world that has turned on itself, where the fundamentals of existence have been inverted into a nightmare. But most chilling of all are the others. The humanoid figures glimpsed in the shadows, their identities hidden behind crude, childlike masks. Who are they? Are they the remnants of the island's other children, twisted into something unrecognizable? Are they manifestations of the siblings' guilt, spectral tormentors wearing the faces of those they couldn't save? Their presence elevates the horror from the monstrous to the deeply personal. They are not just creatures, they are accusations. They are a sign that the tragedy that broke this island wasn't an accident of nature, it was human. As the siblings venture deeper, crossing the three fragmented land masses by a rickety boat at twilight, the true nature of their quest begins to shift. They are not just finding their friends, they are unearthing a history. The island tells its story in whispers, in the artifacts left behind by a doomed populace. Imagine finding a small, abandoned camp, a fire long since turned to ash, a forgotten doll lying face down in the dirt. These aren't just set dressing, they are questions. Who camped here? Were they hiding? From what? You might find a series of children's drawings scrawled on the wall of a decaying home. At first, they might depict happy scenes, families, animals, the sun. But as you move deeper into the house, the drawings become more frantic, more terrifying. The smiling faces are scribbled out. The sun is replaced by a black, ominous shape. The animals begin to grow extra limbs. You are witnessing the real-time psychological collapse of whoever lived here. What event could cause this? What dark secret is the island holding? Was it a failed experiment? A ritual gone horribly wrong? Was it a slow-boiling madness that finally erupted into a single cataclysmic moment? The clues suggest a community turning on itself, a loss of innocence so complete that it physically scarred the world. The siblings' journey across the three land masses might even mirror a journey into the three stages of this historical trauma, each island revealing a deeper, more horrifying layer of the truth. They are, in essence, descending into the island's repressed memories. Reanimal seems to be more than just a horror game about jump scares and monstrous enemies. It's a story about the weight of the past and the courage it takes to face it, even when it has grown teeth and claws. It's about the idea that some wounds are so deep, they don't just scar the person, they scar the place where the pain was born. The central mystery isn't just about what happened to the missing friends, but what happened to everyone. What was the original sin of this island? And as this brother and sister pull at the threads of this dark tapestry, one final, terrifying question emerges. When you confront a nightmare that is powerful enough to warp reality itself, do you destroy it? Or does it simply make you a part of it?